Hello guys, my name is Orest and now I am standing and talking to you from Lviv in western Ukraine, and I'm joined here by Mr. X. Hello.
Hey.
You are from
Orest.
United States, right?
I am. I'm from California.
Oh wow! So what made you come to Ukraine? Weren't you afraid because of the war and so on?
So I've been following the war back in California, and saw that most of the danger was in the eastern part of the country and in the south. And I looked on YouTube and on the internet for information, and I saw your videos, and you were going to different cities where there was significant combat, but your videos in Lviv showed it was safe.
Okay.
So I looked at other things on the internet as well and decided that it probably was safe to come. And I was interested in the impact the war is having on people with schizophrenia.
So you're a specialized doctor
right.
in the
So
psychiatrist.
I'm a psychiatrist in California, and I work specifically with people with schizophrenia.
Okay. But before we move to that topic,
yes.
I just want to ask you, because because of the news, when you see a country being mentioned and war, people assume that it's spread all over, right? And it's possible to understand this, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
How could you know, or how could you feel that some parts of the country could be much better off than another?
So I've been in a couple other countries that were having war and saw that danger is different in different parts of the country. And so you have to look at each section of the country differently. No, the war impacts every part of the country, but the way it impacts is different. And so I felt there was reasonable safety in coming to the west. And we crossed the border from Poland, which seemed a safe way to cross. And so that's...
What was your experience coming to the country, for example? How did you arrive here?
So I flew to Warsaw, and we took the train from Warsaw through Poland down to
Przemysl.
Yes, it looks on the map like it's Przemysl if you're an English speaker, but I realize that's not how it's spoken
I
at
want
all.
to add the nearest airport to Przemysl is Rzeszów, and it's spelled with RZESHOW. Rzeszów.
Yes, so I didn't know any words in Polish, but I was able to book the train on my computer. So I had the train ticket from the airport down to the town right near the border. Przemysl.
Yeah.
I had difficulty getting a train ticket across, and you helped me to be able to figure that out. So that was good. So we felt safe the whole time. But flying into Warsaw was flying into any other European country. That was not unusual at all. And the train through Poland was wonderful. In fact, I had a great opportunity to talk with a psychiatric nurse from Poland on that train, and which was just wonderful. And then the train ride from Poland over to Lviv was easy. The train was nice, like any other European train. And they did the border check of your passport and stuff on the train while the train was going. So you didn't have to spend time standing around the border. That was easy.
So it was pretty easy landing to the country.
It was easy getting in.
Okay,
it was easy getting, and then getting around. We didn't go outside of the Lviv Oblast. We stayed here in the city for a few nights at a very nice hotel, which was at a very great price.
Yeah.
And ate good food, and then we rented a car through Budget Rent-A-Car. It was just like a Budget Rent-A-Car.
So basically, all the international services work here.
Yes, they work fine.
Uber works here.
Uber
you pay
worked
with the
here.
credit card everywhere.
And I was able to get my hotels even out in the smaller towns using the internet, using Booking.com.
Okay.
So it was not complicated to come here.
Okay.
And every place we stayed and every restaurant we ate at, the people were wonderful and very welcoming, and they worked with us even though my Ukrainian is so bad.
You're traveling here with the friend, right? You're not. It's not a solo
No,
trip.
I'm traveling. I'm traveling with Josh.
Okay.
And Josh has been a huge help.
Let's speak to Josh then.
Let's talk to Josh.
Yeah. Like,
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm Josh.
When I've seen you first with Rex, I thought, look, that your main reason to be here is to accompany Rex and to be his bodyguard,
Yeah,
or not?
yeah.
Kind of.
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what like have you? As I suppose you never been to Ukraine before.
That's correct, yeah.
Did you travel to Europe before, for
Yeah,
example?
I've been to the UK.
Okay. So what people told you when you explained them that you are coming to Ukraine now?
A lot of things. Why are you doing this? Are you nuts? Do you want to get into a fight or something? And I was like, no, I don't think it's really going to be that way. I've seen how the area is at the moment. I was keeping up with newspaper reportings that were coming around from the area at the time. I saw a couple of your videos. Yeah, I knew, I had a good feeling, like it didn't look how it looks in the east out here.
So what can you tell? Like, what are your impressions? Because you traveled also like beyond Lviv. Like Lviv is, like you see, very active, lively.
Yeah.
Do you remember the places you visited?
Yeah, we went to Cheskovitz, Skidnitsa.
Okay.
We went into the Carpathians for a while.
It's like 2 hours south drive from Lviv.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone's been incredibly gracious and warm and welcoming.
Which inconveniences did you have, if I may ask? This?
I mean, learn the language.
Okay.
You know, language barrier is a real thing. Yeah, I have I don't have the most developed palate in the world, so some of the food was a bit of a challenge for me. But
Which one, for example?
Oh,
like too fatty stuff.
So yeah, fatty stuff. I'd never had borscht before.
Okay.
I tried some of that.
Everyone should try borscht, guys.
Yeah. Google Translate has been my life.
Google Maps works around.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like you rented a car here, travel. Oh
Yeah.
wow, you see. What can you tell to people who are watching this now and they're probably on the fence, figuring out should they go to Ukraine or not?
Yeah, no, come on out here. Come see this place. This is by far, I mean, sure, London, Paris is great or whatever, but Lviv is right there up with them as well.
Did you feel unsafe at any moment during this trip?
No, not at all. In fact, I feel less safe in my hometown in the Central Valley of California than I do in this city square right now.
Wow, okay. Which actually, guys, of course, doesn't mean that it's absolutely normal. I mean, it is safe in Lviv, like western part of the country functions absolutely properly without any interruptions whatsoever, but in the east of our country there is a serious war and you should not forget about this, yes? But one of the biggest contributions or participations in this for you could be actually to visit Ukraine, contribute to the economy, spread the message, and being this ambassador who actually can spread the word and so on. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's one of the main things we wanted to do. Was we wanted to come here, see it for ourselves, and then go back home and tell people like you should go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks to hear this from you.
Yeah. Of course.
So I'm very active in our church at home.
Yeah.
And all of the people in our church was praying for our time. We intentionally came on Easter to be here for Easter Sunday, which is a day that's very full of tradition in Ukraine with a special meal and the blessing of baskets. And we were welcomed to go to the Greek Catholic Church on Easter Sunday morning. And it was a very meaningful service. And we were welcomed there like anyone else. And it was a very good blessing to be there. And I think other American Christians would enjoy being able to come and be part of that as well. And we spent part of the afternoon on Easter Sunday at the cemetery to visit and pray at the cemetery for many of the young men and women. Military cemetery here in Lviv, where many of the local men and women have died because of the war of aggression. And it was a time to pray, and it was a serious thing. And it brings it into context, because it's very peaceful to be here at dinner and the hotel. But being there at the graves brought context to the suffering that the people are experiencing in the loss of family here and the destruction in the eastern part of the country.
It's definitely important to integrate, to remember this, because there are two parts of the coin, and there are two parallel worlds that people in Ukraine are kind of going through. The same as many parallel worlds that people go through in your profession. Can you also maybe speak more a little bit about your professional intention to come here, right? In terms of your practice.
So I work with patients who have schizophrenia, and many of them are very vulnerable to trauma during times of extreme change and during times when they feel personal threat.
Yeah.
And we knew that many of the facilities that treat people with schizophrenia in the eastern part of the country have been destroyed by the aggressor, and so many patients have had to move, and that's very hard on people with schizophrenia and can lead to more distress. The mental health people in Ukraine have done a really good job in taking care of their people, but I wanted to show some solidarity and support for them, and to show that psychiatrists in other parts of the world recognize the really difficult challenge they must face.
Yeah.
And especially in the areas of post-traumatic stress disorder and other disorders that are complicated by war.
Today we were visiting one of the mental hospitals,
Yes.
and we met with the students, we met with PhDs, we met with professors.
Yes, it was a great
How could you
opportunity.
describe that experience?
No, it was a great experience, because it was great to see people at different levels of training, from the director and the professors to students, to exchange ideas about how we treat schizophrenia in California and the kind of work we do at our residential treatment program and the kind of work they do with their residential treatment of schizophrenia here in Lviv. And I'm looking forward to that relationship developing, because I think there are things I will learn from them, from that, dealing with these issues. And I hope there are things that we can contribute as well.
Absolutely. What I wanted to mention is that it's an example of one of the bridges that now is being built between Ukraine and the rest of the world. So guys, depending on which profession do you work or which organizations you belong to, most probably you could find your colleagues in Ukraine who belong to similar industries, right? And while you're coming here, try to consider how you can establish these new connections in order to build more ties. That's also will be a great contribution, just how to make our world a better place in general.
Yes, yes. I think we learn from one another in any field.
Absolutely.
And it's important that we support one another, especially during times of tragedy or a war.
Amazing. I really appreciate that you came over here. We'll be in touch. Yes.
Yes.
Wish you good, safe back home.
Thank you.
And guys, welcome in Ukraine. We'll be more than happy to see you here.